Hi everyone, this is Takira, Rose here. My pronouns are she, her, and today is March 31st, 2020, um, and it is a weird old time because we are in the middle of our COVID-19 pandemic, and there's just generally a lot of weird stuff going on in the world right now, and in our county, so I hope everyone is staying safe and taking care of themselves. And I'm on day 14 of not really going out very much, except for running errands. Um, that's we're all adjusting to a new experience right now, but we'll get through it, and everything's going to be fine. Today is also the Trans Day of Visibility, March 31st. So in the spirit of being visible, I wanted to make a video and put my face and my being out there into the world and say, hi, I still exist, I'm doing okay. And um, again, I'm going to try and keep this to a short video, a little short update, because that's always the goal. um, so just jumping into it, not a whole lot has changed since my last video in terms of my transition. I had just sort of decided on a name and have been bringing that forth into the world more and more. I've been using a lot of my time in isolation to start transitioning all of my digital life over to new names and shuffling a lot of my existence over to a new email address. Um, I've moved all my old videos to a new YouTube channel, this one, that is associated with this name, and I will include links to the new versions of those old videos below and at the end of this video. So if you missed those, or if you uh, are feeling like you really need something to do with your time in isolation, you can watch those if you'd like. Um, and in terms of my physical health, I'm doing okay. I've actually had a couple of appointments lately. I just had my wellness exam for my health insurance to just get my blood work done and get my levels of cholesterol and all that fun stuff, blood pressure checked. And apparently I'm good. Everything's good. Um, and I also had my practitioner call and remind me that my 3 month um, HRT blood work needed to get done. So um, we did that, and my hormone levels are still on track with what we were going for. I'm in the average female range for someone of my age and body type. And yeah, that's great. In terms of breast growth that I've been experiencing, so I have reported previously sensitivity in my breasts, and that has continued. I think the sensitivity has been less severe, or has felt less severe lately, but I have actually noticed a visible difference, which maybe it was a gradual enough change that I just didn't notice it, but I have noticed that I can actually see a difference in my breast shape at this point, which is that was, I don't know, it was an interesting observation when I noticed it the other day, and I guess it's a nice tangible sign that things are working, and that it's nice to have a physical change, I think, to match all of the emotional changes that I've had going on, and the positive feelings that I have. So those aren't really correlated, but it's just kind of a fun thing. I did have one disappointing thing happen because of all of the community health issues that are going around, and the concern about sharing space. I had scheduled an appointment since I was going to be off work for 2 weeks to get my ears pierced, but then the county shut down all of the piercing studios in our county because they didn't want people spending, large amounts of time in close proximity in those kinds of environments. So I had to have my appointment canceled. I was hoping to get it done right before they put that order into effect, but they did it a day earlier than I thought it was happening. So, oh well. Um, I've been given some pretty good guidance on how to do it yourself at home. And it's nice to know I have resources for pursuing that, but I'm probably going to wait until studios reopen, um, just because I don't trust myself to do that in a responsible way. Uh, um, Socially, name stuff. I've been speaking that into the world. I feel like this is a pretty good time now that I have a break from my workplace to just sort of get all of the name transition stuff switched over, so that I can come back when we reopen and say, "Hi, I'm Takira," and just sort of put that forth and have that be a clear breaking point, um, with my previous name, because it's kind of exhausting to switch back and forth between two different names, and I think not only is it um, you know mentally confusing for me, I think that also for people in my life who are trying to adjust um, to respecting my name change. It's a little difficult when I'm like, oh, well, I'm this person most of the time, but please still use this name in this context. It's just not really working out, and I don't really feel like it's a, a fair ask of other people, which maybe is a weird way of feeling about it, but I feel weird ways about a lot of things. um, this isolation also comes at a time when um, I was hoping to connect more with people in my local community. I am really missing my choir when we were in the middle of a rehearsal season, and that sort of came to an abrupt halt, but we've been trying to find ways of connecting online. And with the queer community locally in particular, like I was really hoping to be stepping more into being involved, or just being in more spaces that are inhabited by queer people and other trans folks, and that's hard to do when no spaces are open and it's not responsible to gather together. So some of the support groups I attended have moved online, and so that has been a nice avenue for some connection, and it's been really great, just occasionally hopping on like live streams that other trans folks are doing to hear other trans voices and other people sharing stories and experiences that I can relate to. Um, Shout out to Evey Winters for putting together that great list of questions that I shared on Facebook. And that was a really sweet way of using the Trans Day of Visibility to spark conversation about specific things. Because sometimes it's overwhelming to just say, ask me anything, I'm an open book, and sort of put the onus of what to ask on other people. So if you just put a list out there, and you can say, these are some things I'm open to talking about. It seems like a nice way of both setting some boundaries for those questions, but also, guiding a conversation in some way. That's a little rambly tangent, but I do want to say that I am really enjoying using this time to connect with people in my life that I have been geographically distant from for a long time. Particularly a lot of friends from college. There have been some live streams and video chats going on, both as large groups, but also I had a really sweet experience today. I've been video chatting with friends from the Midwest, and many of my friends are at the age where they have small children, and I've been a little bit sad to be missing out on watching them grow up and being a part of their lives. And so um, today I hopped on a live stream with two 4-year-olds and tried doing a story time, um, which was really sweet. And I wish I had as much energy as 4-year-olds do. But I'm hoping to do more of that, more videos of reading stories, not just for kids, but also for adults, because adults need story time too occasionally. Um, and because I have a lot of free time and I gotta fill it with something. Um, Otherwise, I just create new projects to start and never finish. So a bounded story or video project is a really nice break from these endless things I get myself into. Um, that's what's going on in my world. Um, I have been very fortunate to live in a sweet household. Um, I'm very grateful that I have two roommates that I get along with pretty well, and who we are all seeming to share space together very well. At least so far. We'll see if it goes on to like 3 or 6 months. If we're at each other's throats, but Rob and Lee are great, and I love you both if you're watching. Um, and I really appreciate being able to have conversations about things that are difficult with people that are in my immediate area, especially in a weird time like this one. I've been having a lot of fun sort of like integrating different areas of my life into uh, into one cohesive whole existence, because sometimes in my life I feel like I have felt um, like I get into situations and I'm like, okay, well, I know how I'm supposed to interact with this group of people, and I know how I'm supposed to interact with this group of people, and when those things come together, I get really uncomfortable because I'm like, I don't know which person to be, and so feeling like I have this more integrated sense of self, where I'm bringing a consistent human into all of my interactions, or at least I hope I am, uh, is refreshing, and because I love my choir, and because I sing stuff, and that's sort of like another core part of my identity. Um, I thought that I would end this video with a song. um, so we're gonna try that, and we're gonna see how it goes. So I am. I have a lot of anxiety about doing this live because I'm not like I'm not really a great singer, but there are no wrong notes in the whack vein. There are no wrong notes, just variations, and sing your heart out. Um, I have a copy here of the second Rise Up Singing songbook. I can't remember what it's actually called right now. This is Rise Again, which feels appropriate for this time, and this is a song from the section on Hope and Strength, which is by Susan Werner, who was actually supposed to be in Asheville at the Wortham Center for the Performing Arts, where I occasionally usher, but nothing is happening right now, so so that got canceled, and I was kind of sad about that because I saw Susan Werner for the last time in Iowa City, because she has Iowa connections, and I have seen her before at the Falcon Ridge Folk Festival, which has been another experience that has been a part of my life, and where I have a lot of positive associations and memories, and it's probably my musical home in terms of temporary communities. So hoping to get back there at some point. I actually when I saw her in Iowa, I told her that I knew her from Falcon Ridge and that I was living in a co-op house, and she was like, "Oh, you should take the CDs for free," and she signed it for me, and she was like, "You're living in a co-op, you don't have money to buy a CD, just take this." And she was like, "Come find me at Falcon Ridge the next time we're there together," and she signed it, and it was very sweet. So all that said, I'm gonna try and sing one of her songs, which is in this book, and I hope it goes okay, and I do it justice. This is called "May I Suggest." May I suggest, may I suggest to you, may I suggest this is the best part of your life. May I suggest this time is blessed for you. This time is blessed and shining almost blinding bright. Just turn your head and you'll begin to see the 1,000 reasons that were just beyond your sight. The reasons why I suggest to you, why I suggest this is the best part of your life. There is a world that's been addressed to you, intended only for your eyes. A secret world, like a treasure chest to you, of private scenes and brilliant dreams that mesmerize. A lover's trusting smile, a tiny baby's hands, the million stars that fill the turning sky at night. Oh, I suggest to you, oh, I suggest this is the best part of your life. There is a hope that's been expressed in you, the hope of 7 generations, maybe more. And this is the faith that they invest in you. It's that you'll do one better than was done before. Inside you'll know, inside you understand, inside you know what's yours to finally set right. And I suggest to you, and I suggest this is the best part of your life. This is a song, comes from the west to you, comes from the west, comes from the slowly setting sun, with a request of you, to see how very short these endless days will run. And when they're gone, and when the dark descends, oh, we'd give anything for one more hour of light. And I suggest to you, and I suggest this is the best part of your life. I love you all. Take care of yourselves and make the best of this weird time.